Make sure you're following me and the podcast on Instagram at underscore Miss J. That's MISSJAYE and at School of Life Pod. I love being able to hear from you about how this podcast has helped you in any way. Plus, you don't want to miss your homework reminders, tips, and podcast updates. Thanks for being my friend on this journey. Let's start the show.
Wow, Sinatra.
Another day, another dollar. I'm saving just to be broke. They said college was serious, but my degree feel like a joke. 4 years or less, I'm saying I got it done. No playing, just to end up at my mom's after I told her I wasn't staying. Well, here we are. No question, I'm a star. Just got some light years to travel, but it's just so far. But I'ma make it though. Make sure you get your focus right. You coming too? It's about to be one hell of a ride. Yeah, this adults and stuff is crazy. They ain't warned us about this. I'm supposed to live my best life on an unpaid internship. How I'm supposed to find my husband? Everybody running game. I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same. Went from worrying about on flow to running from Uncle Sam. Now I understand why student accounts never gave a damn. Saving accounts be slipping, trying to work out, but I'm tripping. I forgot health insurance. Oh, I'm my mom's until I'm 26, so I gotta pay these student loans. That's adulting. What the score doing the most? That's adulting. Moving out of mom's house. That's adulting, but it's all gonna work out. That's adulting. I need a legal side hustle. That's adulting. Cause these bills got me in trouble. That's adulting. The journey's course is never planned. That's adulting. Just leave it in God's hands. Cause that's adulting.
Hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of the School of Life podcast. Listen, have y'all been praying for your girl? Because I need it. When I say the devil is busy, honey, he is busy in my life. But let me tell you, I got a down in my spirit. And what is a you may ask? It is a THA, okay? Like you messed with the wrong one. Not today, Satan. The Lord is fighting my battles. Look, if you're in a season of growth and uncomfortableness like I am, get you a in your spirit, okay? Not me, baby. My faith is anchored in the Lord, and He has plans to prosper me. And if you're wondering where I got this from, I know it sounds silly, but if you're wondering where I got it from, go listen to part 12 of Mike Todd's Crazy Faith series called Blazy Faith, which was actually preached by Pastor Darius Daniels. That was my first time hearing him preach, but he was amazing. First of all, watch the whole series if you haven't, and I'll be sure to tag it in the show notes because listen, you'll get your life all the way together. It really has blessed my life since part 1, and I know it will bless you as well. Like, literally, Mike Todd's preaching is my favorite. He is an awesome pastor. Listen, when I am released to share this testimony of what I'm going through right now, y'all, I promise I will. But in the meantime, keep your girl lifted so that I don't cuss and say ugly words for real. And all that's going on in my life, though, y'all know I have to find a teachable moment because life is not about losses. Like, literally, I never lose. I always learn something. So it's just all about the lessons. So this week's teachable moment came straight from a sermon by Bishop T.D. Jakes called I Didn't Know I Was Me. And literally the whole sermon, I was like, yep, I needed this. This sermon was for me. He said, don't define who you are by how you feel. Feelings lie. And don't allow your emotions to dictate who you are as a person. Our emotions only reflect what we've been through and are built on our history. They are a response to what has happened, not what will happen. And that just took me out. Like, he could have stopped preaching right there and I would have took up an offering for him because, yes, like, our emotions lie. And when we're going through a season of Jesus, take me and the wheel, we can't let our emotions get the best of us because we won't make rational decisions. Our faith will start wavering. Like, y'all, go listen to that sermon because that is my whole teachable moment for this week of my life. Yeah, I needed that. So I'll also tag that sermon in the show notes if you're interested because after my life seemed to have been falling apart these last couple of weeks, I got it right back on track with this sermon. And it was just so great to be reminded that, hey, it's okay. Like, God's got you through it all. Like, seriously, He has you through it all. And you're lying to yourself. You're not standing on the word of God. So, yeah, don't get me to start preaching. I'm going to be sure to tag it because I think y'all should go listen to it. So, that's what's up with me. I mean, just fighting these battles, honey, resisting the devil, telling him to get thee behind me. As always, I hope your life is going well and that you are staying encouraged and keeping your head high. Today, I am super, super excited about this episode because it has been on my heart to record for a few weeks. I can't lie, I was a little nervous about this one, but hey, I'm here now, and so are you. So, look, take out your notebooks, open your notes app in your phone, whatever you use to keep your School of Life notes and nuggets, get there because School of Life is in session. Today we are talking about forgiveness. Dun dun dun. How many of y'all struggle with forgiveness? Be honest with yourself. Like, just take a second. I'm gonna give you a second. Do you struggle with forgiveness? Think about it. I'm kind of like slick raising my hand because I don't currently struggle with it, but I was at one point. But, child, listen, for a long time, had you asked me about forgiveness at all, I really could have been a poster child because it was not happening. I was not. No, no, ma'am, no, sir. But don't let that be a testimony. Don't look up to me in that regard. Don't be the poster child for unforgiveness. Today we are going to dive right into what it means to forgive and why it's so important. For me, it wasn't until I was really, and I mean really, really, really understanding what forgiveness truly was and how important it was that I got it and was openly ready to do so because it's a big deal. So here's the thing that you have to learn about forgiveness. It's not about the other person. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm sorry to break it to you. It's not about them. It's all about you. YOU. When you make up in your mind that you're forgiving someone, you don't even have to tell them. I mean, that's how much it's not about them. Now, if you choose to do so, that's fine, but you don't have to. The whole process is for you. Forgiveness is making a conscious, intentional decision to undergo a change in your feelings and actions about the way someone offended you. It's letting go of negative emotions such as vengefulness toward the person who has wronged you or even yourself. So often we talk about forgiving others, but what about ourselves? I know, child, I've had to forgive myself for some stuff I've done and gotten myself into. So some of us owe ourselves some forgiveness too. Let me be clear though. Real intentional forgiveness, whether it's towards someone else or yourself, it's not easy. I know it's easy for me to reference my notes and just share, oh, this is what forgiveness is, and it sounds like a lullaby. No, I will be the first to tell you it's not easy, but it's so very worth it. And I'm going to tell you why. So, first of all, God commands us to forgive. In fact, take out your Bible, my friends. In Matthew chapter 18, verses 21, I think through 25. I know it starts at 21, but Peter comes to God and he's asking him, like, yo, Lord, look, how many times should I forgive my brother or my sister who done sinned against me? And God is like, he should forgive 70 times, 7 times daily. I said, wait. Let me read that again. Peter came and was like, okay, big homie, how many times? He asked her straight up, how many times am I supposed to forgive this fool? Because I'm going to slap them in a minute. Well, he didn't say that, but this is my interpretation of what Peter was thinking because that's how I'm thinking. How many times should I forgive this person who has sinned against me? And God replied, 70 times 7 daily. Okay. At that point, I would have been like, all right, big homie. That's a lot for someone who has wronged me. So I'm gonna get back to you. But no, seriously, that's what we're commanded to do. We're commanded to not only forgive that many times daily, but to forgive just as God forgave us. And honestly, that part always gets my attitude in check because there have been some crazy things I've needed the Lord to forgive me of, and time again, He has. And so I try to keep that part in mind. Like, you know what? God has commanded us to forgive just like He forgave us. Who am I to think that I can't forgive? So, yeah, that part gets me all the way together. And if you need to get yourself together, think about all the messed up, crazy crap you've gotten yourself into or even done to others, and yet God has forgiven you. So, why can't we forgive others? And I know, believe me, I know it's so much easier said than done, but it's necessary. And we're going to talk about some more specific situations and how you can really navigate the crazy emotions of forgiveness. So aside from the spiritual reasons to forgiving, you should forgive for health reasons too. I don't know about you, but I have literally made myself sick harboring ill will, unforgiveness, and pain towards someone. Like, literally, I have passed out from being so overwhelmed. Like, my body shut down. My job has suffered sometimes. My health has suffered. My faith has suffered. Like, I have just, my whole being, all of Jay was down for the count. Like, don't count on Jay because she is not even herself. And when I found the strength to come out of that hole, I said, you know what, Jay? Never again. I told you I had to get a in my spirit. That was my last time going there. So I had to release that unforgiveness because the truth of the matter is that the other person was living their best life, baby, not missing a beat. And there I was, sick. Literally, I thought Jesus was coming back. Like, I thought I was on my deathbed, going through life, alive on the outside, but so dead on the inside, all because of unforgiveness. And it's not like I was intentionally like, I'm not forgiving that person. They hurt me. I just didn't know how to. I really didn't. And once I came to that realization, that was the last time I lived my life that way. And I don't want that for any of you listening. If it looks anything how my unforgiveness looked, if you have a situation that looks like mine did, honey, release it today. We are going to let that out, pray about it, and keep it pushing because we got life to live. And I'm not telling you to forget it, but we have to release it. I know a big thing now among our generation is learning why we are the way we are. And I love that. Like, I see so many people post about it and talk about it, and I'm always talking to my friends about it. Like, I want to get to the root of why I am this way. And I'm like, yes, y'all better. Like, yes, do that. Let's be better people as a whole. But unfortunately, with that excitement of, getting to the root of who we are and really understanding ourselves, that comes with examining our childhoods and talking about experiences that we had, which is our childhoods basically make us who we are. And that's not easy. Some of us have had to weather some serious storms to get where we are. And those scars require us to forgive people who brought us into this world. Honestly, like, our parents were responsible for us and they are responsible for us. And so if we have scars from our childhood, I mean, it's their responsibility. And I'll be honest, let me tell you, I've had to forgive both of my parents for a lot of stuff that I went through, both as a child and as a young adult. And when I say a lot of stuff, I keep saying I'm going to tell y'all the testimony one day, but just know if you have to forgive your parents, I'm right there with you, honey. It's not easy. My dad was just not there. And it sucks because one, I look just like he spit me out. But two, I wanted him there for so long. Like, y'all, I wanted to be a daddy's girl. Like, the daddy daughter dances, the cute pictures, like, not even just the pictures, the memories, because pictures capture a moment in a memory. I wanted that. Like, in my heart, that's what I still want sometimes, but I didn't get that. And I looked for him in people and places I thought could replace him. It wasn't until I seriously started dating that I realized how much pain I was carrying around because he wasn't there. And you know what? I had to forgive him at some point, and I even had to forgive myself. And that was not easy because you have to really come to the face the facts and the truth that this person who gave me life hurt me, and I'm mad. And I want to say things to them that I probably shouldn't say. But you know what? I'm going to say those things respectfully, and I am choosing to forgive them, whether they give me an apology or not. And that's a hard thing to do, but I did it. I did it. It took a lot of crying, but I did it, y'all. I literally wrote this man on Facebook. That's how serious I was, because I didn't have his number. I wrote him on Facebook, and I laid it all out there. I didn't say not one cuss word. I wasn't even angry because one, I prayed about it, like, Lord, don't let me be angry because I may tear some up. But yeah, I had to forgive him, and I had to forgive him multiple times, and that's a story, child, for a whole nother podcast. When you forgive someone, it's okay to have to forgive them continuously for, I don't want to say new offenses, but basically new offenses. Like one little forgiveness may not be enough for that person, because for me in my situation, I when I first forgave him, and I actually let him know I forgave him that time. When I first forgave him, we had a conversation about basically everything that went on in my life and how he wasn't there, and just everything he had done to hurt me and why I was so hurt. And I let him know, you know what, I'm forgiving you. And then we started to build a relationship, and he was there, and things were going good for like a year and a half, maybe a little less than that, whatever the case. And then he just kind of fell off the face of the earth again. And you know what I had to do? I had to forgive him again. Can you imagine that? So I opened my womb, I exposed it, I let you back in just for you to let me down again. But instead of going back to that dark place that I was at before I forgave him the first time, I instantly said, to not today, Satan, I'm better than that, I'm bigger than that. I forgive you. And that second time, I didn't even let him know I forgave him. Unless he's listening to this podcast, now he knows. But I made up in my mind that I was forgiving him for me, and that if he ever came back, the boundaries would be in place, because no, you're not going to keep playing double dutch with my feelings. I'm a person, I'm a human, and once I've forgiven you, I need to create boundaries, and that's something I learned in that process. So yeah, think think about people you may need to forgive multiple times. It may be multiple offenses, but it's nothing wrong with having to do that continuously. Yeah, nothing at all. And with my mom, whew, Lord knows forgiving her has been a process, but I've had to forgive my mom as well. I would literally need an entire episode to break down my life and how God has just worked this thing out without my biological parents present, because child, where's the Kleenex? But my siblings and I went through a lot of traumatic experiences growing up, from evictions to missed graduations to eating dinner by candlelight, and not the romantic kind. Like, the lights were off and we needed to eat dinner, and just so much more. Like, so many experiences that sometimes I forget that I was a child going through those things. But I've spent the last 7 years really defining what forgiveness looks like towards my mom, because it looked different for my dad. Like, it was easy to just write him a Facebook message and let him know, look, I'm tired of playing these games with you. I'm forgiving you because you have hurt me, and we're gonna keep pushing. It was easy because he also wasn't there as much, but my mom was. And so having to define what that forgiveness looks like in that relationship, it's taking some time. So first things first, I had to come to grips with the fact that my mom did the best that she could with what she had, period. Regardless of how I feel about it, that was her best. And although a lot of stuff hurt, even up until about 2.5 years ago, it hurt me to the core. I had to know that I was only strangling myself by holding on to it and not giving it to God. It was literally self sabotage. And on top of that, I was blocking my own blessings. Because here's the thing about forgiveness: when you don't forgive, you become stopped up and kind of weighed down. You're walking around with bags on your back and weights in your hands and just the weight of the world on your shoulders. And there's no room for God to bless you with new stuff like healing or a support system or a better job or just whatever you may need in that season. If you holding on to the old stuff, he can't give you new stuff because, sis, bro, where you gonna put it? Your back is full, your arms are full, your heart is heavy. Unforgiveness is heavy. Take it from me, heavy. And God tells us to trade our spirit of heaviness for a garment of praise. And listen, I can shout right there because that's exactly what I did. And it wasn't easy, but I had to do it for me because I can't imagine continuing to go through my life feeling the way I felt. Like, I'm only 24 years old, and I was like 22, 21, 22 when I started like having these feelings of, you know what, I need to fully forgive for real this time. But yeah, I can't imagine continuing my life for the next 5, 10, 15 years with that weight. Like, I was weighed down enough in my early 20s. I don't want to continue to be weighed down. And so I had to give it to God. And I traded all of that heaviness for a garment of praise, literally. And I began praising Him more and worshiping Him and spending more time with God because He is the ultimate healer. When I say He will do it, He will do it. And it won't be easy. And I keep saying that because I never want you to think that it's going to be easy, but it is so possible. Forgiving my parents has by far been the hardest thing I've done in my life. And I know I'm only 24. I keep saying that. I haven't lived a whole bunch, but that has been the hardest thing. Not getting a master's degree, not being the first black woman to do something at NASA when I worked there, not launching a podcast or a business. None of that compares, but I did it. And I continue to navigate those relationships in a way that's best for me. Because here's another thing: forgiveness doesn't require reconnection. As long as I honor them, like the good book teaches me, I'm free to navigate this thing how I want to. And whoever got an opinion, well, I'm not going to tell them what they can do with it. That's mean, but y'all can imagine. But no, really, your forgiveness has to be, it has to look like it should look for you, period. Even what I'm saying, what I did may not work for you, but as long as you define what that looks like for you. And if you're someone like me who's had to dig through your childhood or currently digging through your childhood to find the roots of issues and pull them up and deal with them, I know forgiveness is the last thing you want to have to cry about because you're already dealing with so much. But it's necessary, y'all. We cannot get where we are going with unforgiveness in our hearts. Yes, it is not your fault the way you were raised, and it sucks. And you're starting off with a disadvantage and you're behind the starting line. Look, I hear you. Me too. Me too. I am right there with you. But baby, we are here now, and this is our lives now, and we have to do things in this earth and in other people's lives that will change the world. And so we have to forgive in order to get there. But before we can get there, we have to forgive those who have hurt us or forgive ourselves. I know I've had to forgive myself a lot, like I've said. Plus, forgiveness is a form of self care. We can take all the bubble baths we want. We can go on all the solo trips we feel like we need. We can even talk to God till our lips fall slap off our face. But if we don't get our hearts and our souls in check, we're only self sabotaging because we're not truly growing. And so when you're not growing, you're just standing still. And who wants to stand still in life? So just think about forgiveness being a way to take care of you, because if you don't take care of you, who will? And remember, this thing is all about you, boo. Forgiveness is all about you. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about you. And I feel like anything that's about me is a form of self-care because it's all about me. And it's not too many things in this world that's all about Jay, because we got to deal with a whole bunch of other stuff. So when you have an opportunity to take care of you, then take care of you. That's important. And that goes for forgiving yourself as well. Like, You have to. It's really, really important. Like Elsa said, honey, let it go. You look way down. I can see you all the way from here. I'm closing my eyes to imagine all my listeners. You look way down, sister, bro. Don't be angry. Don't be bitter. None of that. Like, why would you be? You're hurt? Of course you are. That's normal. But you have life inside of you that cannot be stopped, and we are not letting forgiveness stop you from achieving and receiving all that you are going to get in this world. Trust me, I am somebody who knows that it hurts. When I release my autobiography, I promise you will get a front row seat to the things I've had to overcome in my short little life. But without forgiveness, I'm not sure where I would be if I was still holding on and literally strangling myself with hurt and anger and unforgiveness. I have no idea the the stifled Jay I would be. I would not be this person now that can talk about these things and that have grown from these things. I just wouldn't. Forgiveness is not easy, but it's very, very necessary. And I hope today that my personal experiences and challenges have been able to help you learn something new, whether it's about forgiveness or you've come to a realization about yourself, and that you can apply it to your own life. Actually, that's exactly what I want you to challenge yourself to do this week. Y'all know it's not school of life without some homework. So this week, I really want you to think about who it is you need to forgive and just forgive them. That's your homework. Completely forgive someone that you know you need to forgive. Release them from your thoughts, your anger, your hurt feelings, all of that. And if you need help doing any of that, one, I am here to pray for you and with you. I always tell y'all that. I'm here. My DMs are open. Slide through. But listen to any of the sermons that I referenced in this episode earlier. Plus, there's another series called Released by Pastor Mike Todd, who y'all just learned. Well, y'all know I love him. Y'all been knew that, but I love him a lot as a pastor. He's awesome. But I will tag that series in the show notes as well because he really talks about what it looks like to release things in your life and into this world, and that's what we should be doing. We have enough things we can't control that affect our adult lives and how we adult, but let's be adults about the things we can control, okay? Like forgiving others, because remember, it's not even about them. All right, now let's hop right into our show and tell segment.
Ooh. Ah.
This week, we are featuring Goddess's Beauty Supply, owned and operated by D'Angela Threat. Goddess's Beauty Supply is an online beauty supply store, but is available to participate in local events in the Birmingham, Alabama area. When I asked D'Angela about why she started Goddess's Beauty Supply and just about her business and what she sells, she said that she started because she wanted financial independence. Yes, sis, two snaps for that. To be her own boss and to be able to teach other black women how to accept, love, and care for their natural hair. Yeah, I struggled with that part, but don't be like me in that regard. I love that Goddess's Beauty Supply sells name brand hair products, styling and barber tools, cosmetic accessories, skincare products, virgin hair, and wigs. Yes, sis has the wigs, and they look really, really good. So check out Goddess's Beauty Supply at www.goddessesbeautysupply.com. You can also find the store on Facebook and Instagram at Goddesses Beauty Supply. And I will be sure to tag all of that information in the show notes for you to support. Head over to goddessesbeautysupply.com to support my girl D'Angela and tell her Miss J sent you. So that wraps up another episode of the School of Life podcast. I know I dropped a lot on y'all. Like I probably needed a tissue myself. I had a lot of sermon references. I read myself for filth because I'm like, let me get myself together. I probably touched some little heartstrings in your heart as well, but I know I spoke a lot of truth, and that's what I'm here to do. Speak the truth and just help you grow and help myself grow on this journey. Look, we're on a mission to survive and thrive while adulting, and I'm going to share anything that I can to help the next person out, including my own struggles and the things I've had to deal with. So thank you for tuning in. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. Don't forget my DMs are open if you need me, and I'll talk to you next week.